News Talk 610 AM and 102.1 FM. KVNU.
KVNU News Time is 4:05. I'm Bill Walter with this news update brought to you by Mount Logan Laundry. Today, the Utah Department of Health reported 1.55 million Utahns are fully vaccinated. 1,140 have tested positive for COVID-19 since Monday, and 22% of the new infections are in children, grades K through 12. Utah's new rolling 7-day average for positive tests is now 1,108 a day, the highest since early February. Total positive cases in Utah during the pandemic now number 455,513. Among 9 new deaths reported today, 2 of them occurred before August 1st. There have been 2,593 coronavirus deaths in Utah, 122 of them in Cache, Box Elder, and Rich counties. The Bear River Health Department reported 35 new COVID-19 cases in northern Utah since Monday. The district's total case count grew to 24,193, and there are now 23,441 considered to be recovered. KVNU News Time is 4:06. KVNU weather for tonight. Mostly clear, patchy smoke after midnight, low in the low 50s, and then sunny, patchy smoke on Wednesday with southwest winds 10 to 20 miles an hour in the afternoon. High temperature in the middle 80s. That's where we've been today. 84 has been our high. It's 83 right now at KVNU. KVNU weather brought to you by Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology. Turn life up. Schedule a free hearing evaluation with Dr. Paul Danes at Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology. Visit cachehearing.com.
Oh, we live in a great area. Are you just back from a camping trip? Don't take your sleeping bags to the dry cleaner. Come to Mount Logan Laundry. For just a few quarters, our 55 or 80-pound washers and 80-pound dryers will have those bags clean for your next trip. Mount Logan Laundry has free Wi-Fi and drop-off service, plus they're open until midnight. Mount Logan Laundry really is the cleanest spot in town. Find them at 5th East and 9th North in Logan or in Brigham City on the corner of 1st East and 7th South. Mount Logan Laundry.
KVNU News Time is 4:07. Utah's Representative Blake Moore has canceled a visit to Logan that was scheduled for this evening. The freshman congressman had been scheduled to hold a public town hall at 5 p.m. this evening at the Cache County Event Center in Logan. But Moore's press secretary, Caroline Tucker, announced this morning that Moore had been called back to Capitol Hill to participate in crucial votes in the U.S. House of Representatives. The House is normally in recess in August, giving lawmakers like Moore a golden opportunity to reconnect with their constituents. But political bickering there still continues this summer over stalled legislation and conflicting political strategies. And the entire state of Utah has benefited from recent rainstorms, but there's one benefit in particular that could make a big difference this winter. It all lies in the soil. According to National Weather Service meteorologist David Church, the rain has led to much higher levels of soil moisture. That's important because last winter soil moisture levels were very low, resulting in inadequate snow runoff. Will that mean a good snow runoff this winter? Church said, while this is really helpful in the short term right now, it's a little early to say if it's going to be helpful for the winter. If we can continue to stay wet, then we'll be in a good place, but it's too early to say just yet. The rain throughout the last week did not refill Utah's low reservoirs. That would only happen after a good winter, according to Church. KVNU News Time is 4:09. For more details on these and other stories, visit CacheValleyDaily.com.
Stay informed, stay connected. News Talk KVNU, 610 AM, 102.1 FM, and online at 610kvnu.com.
America's infrastructure connects our communities and makes our nation work. These systems are vital to our everyday lives and Utah's economy. That's why Senator Mitt Romney led the way in passing legislation that makes critical investments in Utah's roads, bridges, and electricity systems. Critical investments in the infrastructure that makes America and Utah great. Here's Senator Romney on C-SPAN.
This is the gateway to better roads, better bridges, better water, better broadband into rural communities, and a better economic vitality for our country.
Repairing our roads and bridges, upgrading electrical systems, and increasing access to information systems is good for our families, good for America, and good for our future. Thank you, Senator Romney, for leading the way on a real infrastructure plan that rebuilds America and invests in Utah. Thank you for voting to invest in us. Learn more at let'sinvestinus.com. Paid for by Citizens for Responsible Energy Solutions.
Adams Wealth Advisors' entire team says, thank you, Cache Valley, for voting them the best financial planner in the Best of Northern Utah competition. Honesty and integrity is the hallmark of Adams Wealth Advisors. Let them earn your trust today.
This is Craig Adams. At Adams Wealth Advisors, we are here to help you receive peace of mind, whether you've done a lot of planning or a little planning. Count on our team at Adams Wealth Advisors for honesty, professionalism, and integrity.
Visit adamswealthadvisors.com or call 752-1702 to schedule a time with an advisor today. Please see adamswealthadvisors.com for more information on these recent awards.
Attention homeowners! You may have noticed the ground shift after your foundation has been poured, causing your house to sink or settle. Protect your investment from issues before they happen. Polylift Concrete Raising and Piering will stabilize, lift, and eliminate further settling by using Magnum Piering products to save you big money down the road. Polylift Concrete Raising and Piering are the foundation lifting experts. Visit poly-lift.com to schedule your free assessment or call or text 435-999-9309. Polylift is locally owned and operated.
The excitement for high school football ramps up this weekend with the return of the Rocky Mountain Kickoff. 2 big games Friday night, August 27th. The first game kicks off at 6:15 and features Logan versus Stansbury. The late game is at 8:15 with 6A teams, Roy and Clearfield, going head-to-head. One admission price gets you both games. Gates open at 5:30. The Rocky Mountain Kickoff. 2 big games Friday night in the USU Football Stadium. Tickets are only $5 and on sale now at the USU ticket office.
We love being in Smithfield and making it easy for our friends and customers to do their banking. Hi, this is Danny Hansen, branch manager at Cache Valley Bank in Smithfield. If you don't bank with us, I invite you to discover what a great financial partner you'll find in Cache Valley Bank. I'm anxious to get to know you and invite you to stop by and say hello. Now celebrating our 2nd year in Smithfield, located on the corner of Center and Main, Cache Valley Bank, member FDIC.
To protect her home and family in a disaster, Karen was willing to wade through water, mud, and insurance paperwork.
Yeah, I can do this.
You go, Karen! By simply understanding and updating what her insurance covers and doesn't cover now, she'll be better prepared no matter when disaster strikes. Learn other simple ways to protect your home and family before a natural disaster at ready.gov. That's ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
For the people.
We are waiting with bated breath for news from the Cache Republican Party meeting an executive committee tonight.
With Jason Williams.
And I'm really excited about this next segment. We have 2 guests here in studio. We're going to talk about something that we've talked about many times here on the show, but from a bit of a different angle.
Weekday afternoons from 4 till 6 on News Talk KVNU, 610 AM and 102 FM.
Welcome to KVNU's For the People. It is Tuesday, August 24th. I'm Jason Williams. We have quite a show lined up for you today. But before we get to all of that, a couple of announcements. First off, tomorrow on the show, Logan City Police Chief Gary Jensen and United States Senator Mitt Romney. A big show tomorrow.
That's a star-studded show right there.
Yeah, star-studded. Yeah. And just some bad news to start the show off with here. And I want to make sure and get this out early. I'm going to throw this out a lot because I happen to know a lot of people that were planning on making a few different treks for this. Congressman Blake Moore had a a town hall scheduled here in Cache Valley this afternoon. It was supposed to begin at 5. And then at 7:30, he was going to be over in Brigham City and for a town hall there as well. And so I know a lot of folks that weren't going to be able to make the 5 here. They were planning to go over to Brigham and vice versa. And both have been canceled, unfortunately. This news was announced, I believe the first place I saw it was on the Congressman's Twitter account last night. But an official statement out today from Congressman Moore. Basically, Congress decided to cut leadership in the House, decided to cut their August break short and go back and cast some votes. What's happening is, basically maneuvering in Congress like you would expect. Democrats have an agenda. They've set some priorities. And this is all to get moving a reconciliation process. I won't go into the details of what that is. It's not super exciting. But it does mean that there will not be a break anytime soon. Well, possibly in the next couple of weeks. We'll see. But it's starting this reconciliation process is going to start a pretty lengthy debate. And so at this point, listeners have asked, is this going to be rescheduled in the next week or two? I don't know. I've been in touch with Congressman Moore's staff today, and they're working on it. Trying desperately to find, some dates they can announce as soon as possible, but who knows? The leadership wants to get a few of these things done before the end of the year. And so as soon as we know, we'll let you know. But again, Congressman Blake Moore's 2 town halls scheduled for today. $5 was the plan here in Cache Valley, 7:30 in Brigham City. Both have been postponed. So if you had plans to make it out to these tonight, don't. The congressman won't be there. So no fault of his own, but he did in his statement express disappointment and reiterated that they'd be announcing new dates soon. Coming up, though, good news. I'm pretty excited about this. Bill, have you ever toured the power plant?
No.
Or seen the power plant in Blacksmith?
Well, I've seen it, but I've never gone on a tour there, I have to admit.
Well, you have an opportunity to.
All right.
Coming up Saturday, September 11th, as part of this ongoing H2O Today Smithsonian exhibit, they're going to be doing tours. This is a very short window, and I'm not sure if registration is required. But we'll find out in just a couple of minutes with Jami Van Huss of the Hyrum City Museum, who has announced that this opportunity has been added to the long list already of H2O Today events here in Cache Valley this summer and into the fall. So Jami Van Huss, director of the Hyrum City Museum, joining us right after this.
Hi there, Congressman Blake Moore here. This August, I'm coming to you. I will be traveling throughout the 1st District hosting in-person town halls, and I'd love for you to join us. I will be in Duchesne, Davis, Summit, Cache, Box Elder, Morgan, and Weber counties. Visit my website at www.blakemore.house.gov and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Rep Blake Moore for times and locations. I look forward to seeing you and addressing your questions. Paid for by official funds authorized by the U.S. House of Representatives.
It's a Classic Cars Saturday night at the Event Center. Classic Cars, live music, and good times. The Classic Cars roll in from 5 to 9 p.m. Bring your friends and enjoy food and drink from the Event Center patio and Greek Street. Classic Cars and live music from the Band Basement Cafe. It's a free event. There's no admission charge to see these classic cars and listen to the live music. Bring your friends. A Classic Cars Saturday night at the Event Center, 12 North and 200 East behind the Cache Valley Mall.
I'm Larry Gelwicks, the Getaway Guru. Join me on The Travel Show every Saturday at 11 a.m., and I'll tell you where to go and how to get there with the best travel deals on the planet, including how to travel more and pay less, free this and free that promotions, and insider secrets on what the airlines, cruise lines, and hotels don't want you to know, along with your call-in travel questions every Saturday, 11 a.m., right here on News Talk 610 KVNU.
We are there in your community. Small business owners, mechanics, police officers, homemakers. And we are there serving our nation in the Air Force Reserve. When medical emergencies arise, in cybersecurity, when natural disasters happen, we are there in space. We are Reserve Citizen Airmen, and we are there with over 180 different jobs to serve your country. Air Force Reserve.
Hey, this is Grace Gosted. I'm a singer-songwriter, and like many, I've been traumatized by years of bullying. You're ugly, you're stupid, you're gay, you're worthless. Bullying causes real harm and can result in severe long-term depression, anxiety, addiction, and even self-harm. I created the Black Box Project for anyone who has ever felt different for any reason. Go to theblackboxproject.org to help you take the first step to healing. You are not alone.
This is Logan City Police Chief Gary Jensen. Scammers are continuing to target people in the Cache Valley. Fraudsters often threaten with arrest, withholding medical care for loved ones, or offer to sell or purchase items at discounted or inflated prices. Many of these scams often involve third-party gift cards or other money-exchanging services. If you receive an offer or are threatened like this with immediate punishment unless you comply, hang up and call the police to report it. Please do not become a victim.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived in Philadelphia. Local time is 3:05 p.m. and the temperature is 67 degrees. At this time, you are now free to use your cellular devices.
You know that feeling when you get to turn your phone on after the plane lands? You can have that feeling every time you drive. Make sure your cell phone is stowed away whenever you are behind the wheel.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to KVN News for the People. I'm personally very excited about this interview because this is something, since I was a kid, I've always wanted to do. And it ties in with something that's been happening throughout this summer that is really amazing. And there are a bunch of different ways you can interact with this H2O Smithsonian exhibit. And by a bunch of ways, I mean throughout the valley. We spoke with Director of the Hyrum City Museum, Jami Van Huss, last month about this, and we talked about some of the places all of this will be playing out over the next quite a long while, actually. And one example right now, along the Logan River, right now local artists their work is being highlighted, but it's being tied in with the water theme and with the beauty of the river, and all part of this H2O Today touring Smithsonian event, which is, again, something you can interact with in a lot of different ways. I've linked to some of the websites where you can see a lengthy list of different ways that this exhibit is highlighting water here in northern Utah. But kind of the ground zero, the headquarters, the central point of all this is the Hyrum City Museum. And they've added something to the list of events in this H2O Today series that involves, like I say, something I've always wanted to do. It's coming up as part of their second Saturday series. So it will be Saturday, September 11th. This will happen. An opportunity to tour the Hyrum City Power Plant, which this power plant has an amazing history. To talk a little bit about that, we've invited Jami to join us here again today. And Jami, like I say, I'm really excited about this personally. I've been up there many, many times over the years, camping and more, and I've always wanted to kind of take a peek inside this. But this was originally constructed in 1932. Is that correct?
Yep, that is right. Yep, the hydro plant was constructed in 1932. Now, there were power plants and other. Hyrum was actually one of the first cities that was electrified in the state.
Wow.
I think as early as 1909. But yeah, this.
I didn't know that. That's very cool.
Yeah.
That is.
And so, yeah, and this plant was built in 1932.
So, and it's been supplying power since.
Yes, exactly. Yep, it's been in use the whole time, and it's really interesting. I was talking to the power superintendent, who will be the one there conducting the tours, and he was saying that, originally, when you think about this is one of those fun opportunities to think historically. So originally, when the power plant started, it powered everything that Hyrum needed.
Sure.
Because, not even all the houses had electricity. There were some street lights. But today, and actually there was a surplus that they sold. Whereas today, if I remember correctly, I think he says there's enough power pretty much to power all the street lights in Hyrum at this point. And so Hyrum has investments in other power plants and other places throughout the state and the nation where they get power to supply all their customers. But, it's been producing the same amount of power all that time. It's just interesting how much more need there is for power over the last, nearly 100 years.
Sure. That's so at one point after construction, enough to power the whole city's needs, and now not the case, but still an important part of the power grid there at the south end of the valley. And also, to me, just very cool that it's construction in 1932. It's just been kind of quietly up there doing its job all of these years, nearly 100 at this point. And it's a part of Hyrum's history. It's a part of any trip up through Blacksmith Fork Canyon to Hardware Ranch. You pass the power plant there. And you guys are opening it up for a few hours on Saturday, September 11th.
That's correct. Yep. So that's the museum's second Saturday event. Obviously, it's not at the museum. The museum will also be open from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. So if anyone wants to come and see H2O Today, the traveling Smithsonian exhibit that we have through January, it's a great time to come and see it. It really is a wonderful exhibit. It has great interactives. We've been open for about 2 weeks now, and the feedback we've received has been really positive. And there's a family self-guide. We have the Utah Waterways essay, and there's just a lot of neat things you can come and learn and engage with there at the museum. And then, of course, the power plant tours will just be in the morning. It's kind of drop-in style because it's a very small space and it's very loud in there.
I'll bet.
And so we'll be up there from about 10 until 11:30 Saturday morning. It's almost exactly 6 miles from the mouth of Blacksmith Fork Canyon. It's right there by AJ Park, and there'll be some signs. But, yeah, there's a parking lot area there, so just come up between 10 and 11:30, and as groups come, we'll bring people in a few at a time to get a bit of a tour, and the power superintendent or one of his assistants will be there to talk a little bit about how it works and what it was. When we had a Smithsonian exhibition in 2017 on work, we did tours then, and we've actually had people request them again. And what was really neat about when we did it in 2017 is they were replacing part of the turbine.
Oh, wow.
And so it was shut down and all open, so you could really see inside and see how it worked. And as far as I know, it's going to be running for the September event, but still to be able to go inside and see it, it is a little bit like stepping back in time.
Sure.
But it still works, and it's a very interesting, tangible part of Hyrum's history that you can experience.
Sure. That is, again, Saturday, September 11th, starting at 10 a.m., tours of the Hyrum City Power Plant. And, Jami, this is all part of this larger H2O Today Smithsonian exhibit, which is sort of headquartered, centered there at the Hyrum City Museum. until January, with a lot of exhibits there you can see. And then you guys have also spread this out through the valley and even other parts of northern Utah, right?
Yes, exactly. So this is actually a collaboration throughout the Bear River Heritage area. So that's Cache, Box Elder, and Rich counties, and then also in southeastern Idaho, it's Caribou, Franklin, Bear Lake, and Oneida counties. And so we have things running in all those different places. There's actually 12 total exhibits.
Wow.
Right now, besides H2O Today, Hyrum, we do have another exhibit called Boa Ogai, The River is Life, which explores the Bear River as the source of life for the northwestern Shoshone people, both in the past and today. Out in Newton, there's one called The Dam That Saved a Town. The Brigham City Museum has an exhibit open right now called Hometown Habitat, and that talks about, looks at the bird refuge out there. The Cache Valley DUP is so close to opening. They've been under construction and remodeling for almost a year now, and when they do, they have a really great exhibit called Obstacle or Opportunity that actually looks at snow and how winter shaped life in early Cache Valley for those early settlers. Also, Stokes Nature Center right now has an exhibit called What If We Did Our Best? Water in Utah from Snow to Salt Lake. Utah will be opening a new exhibit in a couple of weeks. Golden Spike will be opening one in a couple of weeks, as well as Cache Art. And then also there is, right now at the Artist Gallery in downtown, there is an art show called Like Water with all these art pieces that are inspired by water. And so, yeah, there's a lot of, Helicon West is doing a water writing series. The first one of that is on September 9th. We're doing a tour of USU's Water Lab on September 16th, which I don't know if everyone knows this, but USU's Water Lab is actually Utah's premier water and environmental engineering research laboratory. And we're really excited. One of the other things that's very exciting that's coming up very soon is on September 8th at 7 p.m. out at the Hyrum Civic Center. The Cache Valley Historical Society is hosting Greg Smoke, who is a scholar based at the University of Utah, who has been the state scholar for this whole event. And he's going to be talking about Utah waterways and the Bear River. And I grew up here, and I didn't even know until I started this project that the Bear River is actually the largest tributary to the Great Salt Lake. And what that means is just really fascinating to Utah's water story. And he is such a dynamic and interesting and knowledgeable presenter on this topic. And so that's something I'm very excited about. I know I'm just rattling all this stuff off.
No, this is great, though.
But if people are interested, they can go to bearriverheritage.com/H2O, all lowercase. And it's the number 2, so H number 2, and then a lowercase 0, or not 0, O, the letter O. And there's a full calendar that has all the events, dates of the events, times, locations, the times all these different locations are open. And then also there is a passport program. So at any of these specific events and also at all of the exhibit locations, there are little passports. And it's not just for kids. A family can do it. Adults can do it. You grab this little paper passport. It has the QR code on it that gets you right to all this list of events. It goes all the way through till the first part of February. And as you go to these different things, you can get stamps. And then we have prizes from our Bear River Heritage Area partners.
That is amazing.
I mean, there's really no reason not to go out, and especially in such a phenomenal water year. I mean, these exhibits are all very contextual and informative and very interesting. And so, we're on a year where so many people are talking about water.
Yeah, so timely.
It really provides you with some great knowledge. You know, your friends and coworkers are just going to think you're the smartest person around.
Reason enough to get out and do it. Yeah, this is amazing. I'm looking at this this passport map here, and there are events from Montpelier and Soda Springs to Malad, here in Hyrum, of course, Wellsville, up in Franklin, throughout Logan Canyon, over in Tremont. There are events all over northern Utah and even some parts of southern Idaho as part of this H2O Today event. And it goes until January. Some great exhibits out there at the Hyrum Museum. I checked them out myself. And a couple of art exhibits happening in Logan right now along the Logan River as part of this as well. But again, Saturday, September 11th, those tours at the Hyrum City Power Plant begin at 10 a.m. up the canyon there, about 6 miles from the mouth of the canyon there. This is an old building. I'm really excited to see inside it for the first time myself. I've peeked through the windows before, I'll confess. But
I think a lot of people have on their centers at the park there.
Yeah. I think it's a Hyrum resident tradition to kind of stand up on those bricks and peek through those windows. But a really old building, been in operation since 1932, and a chance to actually step inside and take a little tour on Saturday, September 11th. Jami Van Huss, director of the Hyrum City Museum, has been our guest. The website she mentioned, again, you can a couple of different ways. You can visit the Hyrum City Museum's website, which is hyrumcitymuseum.org, and they've got a link there to the full list, the passports, the map, and more for the H2O Today events throughout northern Utah. Or as she mentioned, you can visit bearriverheritage.com/H2O and find it there as well. I've linked to both on our Facebook page. Jami, always a pleasure to have you on. It's great this is happening, and I can't wait to get out and take advantage of some of these events. And we'll check back in before the year's over and see how things are going.
Wonderful. I appreciate it, and I hope you all make it out to some of these neat things. There's some really great projects going on in the region, and it's just a great opportunity to see some of these smaller organizations kind of shine and show the community what they do well.
Sure.
So it's exciting for us, and as a community member, I'm excited to do a lot of these things too.
Very nice. And a great year to do it. We're all talking and thinking about water in this drought year. No better time to get a better understanding of water's role in our history, in our current quality of life, and in the future here in the Bear River area and northern Utah, southern Idaho in general. An opportunity to do that in many different ways. bearriverheritage.com/H2O, or follow the link on the Hyrum City Museum's website, which is hyrumcitymuseum.org. Our guest again, director of the Hyrum City Museum, Jami Van Huss. And Jami, always a pleasure. Thanks for taking the time for us.
Thanks so much, Jason.
Thank you. And for listeners, again, I've linked to all of that on our Facebook page, but you can follow the H2O Today events link at the Hyrum City Museum website, hyrumcitymuseum.org, and see the map, learn about the passports. Again, events from Montpelier to Tremont, all throughout Cache Valley, even up in some spots in Soda Springs. Just amazing stuff. Thanks again to Jami Van Huss, director of the Hyrum City Museum, and we'll be back with more of For the People on the other side of the news with KVNU's Bill Walter.
Thank you, Jason. KVNU News Time is 4:38, and the news is brought to you by U&I Furniture. A 27-year-old man has been sentenced to prison for physically beating and threatening a Logan woman in June. Anthony Gutierrez was given the maximum sentence after expressing regret for what he did. Gutierrez was sentenced in First District Court Monday morning. He had previously accepted a plea deal, pleading guilty to aggravated kidnapping and theft, a second-degree felony, and misdemeanors for assault with substantial bodily injury and threat of violence. According to arresting documents, Gutierrez was visiting his ex-girlfriend at her residence in Logan. On June 12th, she told Logan City Police how he became angry when she received a message from an unknown individual. He struck her multiple times and pulled her hair. The victim said the abuse continued through the night, with Gutierrez threatening to kill her. He told her he would smother her with a pillowcase or strangle her with electric cords. He later said he was going to take her life and then take his own. The assault continued through the night as the woman feared for her life. As they were walking to her car the next morning, she ran to a bystander who intervened and called 911. During Monday's sentencing, public defender Joseph Saxton acknowledged that Gutierrez had made some terrible threats against the victim. He blamed his client's actions on what he called an explosive relationship between the two people. Gutierrez said he was sorry for his actions. He asked the court to give him another chance to prove he was not a bad person. Cache County Deputy Attorney Griffin Hazard said the case was extremely concerning. He said the crimes merited a prison sentence. Judge Brandon Maynard agreed with Hazard. He sentenced Gutierrez to 1 to 15 years in prison, giving credit for the 2 months already served. State and local officials are inviting Cache Valley residents to weigh in on a proposal to improve the intersection of 3200 South and Nibley, where it connects with US 8991. UDOT will hold an in-person open house and public hearing on that proposal Wednesday evening from 5 to 7 in the community room of the Nibley City Hall. Details of the tentative project will also be outlined during 2 online public hearings on Thursday. Those sessions will be held at 3 and 7 p.m. The proposal is the result of a joint planning effort by officials of UDOT, Cache County, Nibley City, and also Logan. Its primary purpose is to improve safety and traffic flow on the highway near 3200 South, with a secondary goal of improving the connectivity between the local and regional planned transportation network. And kids in Salt Lake City are headed back to school today wearing masks after the mayor issued a mandate order. That's despite heavy restrictions on mask mandates imposed by the GOP-dominated legislature. Democratic Mayor Erin Mendenhall said she used her emergency powers to protect kids as the highly contagious Delta variant of the coronavirus spreads. But a top Republican lawmaker said in a strongly worded Facebook post that she does not have the authority to do so. Representative Mike Schultz of Hooper said the order was not enforceable, and he threatened legislative action to constrain mayor's emergency powers. KBNU News Time is 4:41.
Want to improve the look and comfort of your home? See all the possibilities at UNI Furniture. Update your mattress and sleep better tonight on a Therapeutic Queen Comfort Top mattress for $4.99. UNI is also a full-line Maloof dealer. Add a Maloof adjustable base, 4 style choices there. In UNI's dining room section, lots of different brands with something always new to see. One popular set with a table and 4 chairs, $649. And for the family or living room, all kinds of fun new sofa loves and sectionals. If it's in stock or it's in the showroom, it's ready to take home. There's always a better buy at UNI Furniture downtown Logan.
KBNU weather tonight, mostly clear, patchy smoke after midnight, low in the lower 50s, and then sunny, patchy smoke, mid-80s tomorrow. Southwest winds 10 to 20 miles an hour in the afternoon, and then partly cloudy, becoming mostly sunny, areas of smoke Thursday, and again, middle 80s for the high. It's been to 84. It's 84 degrees right now at KBNU. KBNU weather brought to you by Mount Logan Laundry, located at 1st East and 7th South in Brigham City. Mount Logan Laundry will give you the quickest and cleanest wash in town. Also, 500 East, 9th North in Logan, Mount Logan Laundry. For more details on these and other stories, visit CacheValleyDaily.com. Let's check Wall Street now with Edward Jones.
This is Rochelle Hanks bringing you the Daily Financial Market Report on behalf of financial advisor Tron Arnold and Edward Jones for Tuesday, August 24th. New home sales data came in largely in line with expectations and showed that inventory continues to rise. The number of new homes for sale in July, 367,000, was the highest since November of 2008 and is up 26% compared with July of last year. Also a focus for investors was fiscal stimulus, with the $1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill being finalized sooner than expected, as the House of Representatives votes to move the bill forward. The House had originally planned to wait for the Democratic-led $3.5 trillion proposal to be completed before voting on the bipartisan plan. U.S. equities closed higher today. The Dow closed up 31 points at 35,366. The Nasdaq closed up 77 points at 15,020. The S&P closed up 7 points at 4,486. And in the bond market, 10-year Treasury yields are trading at 1.29%. In stocks of local interest, Thermo Fisher is down $2.12 to $540.49. Home Depot is down $2.84 to $324.90. Autoleave is up $1.60 to $92.17. Lowe's is down $2.67 to $203.39. Walmart is down $1.55 to $148.90. Nucor is up $3.42 to $123.25. Coca-Cola is down 43 cents to 56.01. Kroger is down 99 cents to 45.75. General Electric is up $2.30 to 103.27, and R.R. Donnelley & Sons is up 24 cents to $5.01. In commodity markets, the price of crude oil was up $2 at $67.64, and the spot price of gold was down $1 to $1,805.70. This has been today's Financial Market Report, brought to you on behalf of Edward Jones, member SIPC, and financial advisor Tron Arnold, serving individual investors with personalized attention and financial advice at 1202 South, Highway 89 in Logan. If you would like additional information, please contact any of our 7 Edward Jones offices in Logan, Providence, and Smithfield. Daily commentary is also located on our website at edwardjones.com.
Trouble with pain, sleep, or anxiety? Want better health? Try CBD7, the CBD experts. You simply can't get this water-soluble CBD at grocery, convenience, or health food stores. Water-soluble CBD7 absorbs 15 times better and tastes great. CBD7 has the only clinically proven formula with real measurable results. Many feel better in minutes. CBD7 is not a drug and has no side effects. Other CBDs just can't do all that. Visit CBD7 today. Learn about CBD and try our best for free.
Did you get a landscape plan and now wonder what's next? You need Canyon Landscaping. They can build any plan into a signature landscape. Since 1999, their team has viewed educating clients as a crucial part of every project. This ensures customers get the best finished landscape for their specific site. No two sites are the same, so be sure to come to the experts with expertise and knowledge of delivering on any landscape plan. Call 752-3838 or go to canyonlandscaping.com. Canyon Landscaping. Look for the leaf.
Welcome back to KVN News for the People. This is interesting. I'm just looking at this map here that was made available, posted just today by Charlie Schill at CashValleyDaily.com in the story. State officials propose road realignments along US 91. We've been talking about this for a while. In fact, I think it was originally Logan City Mayor Holly Daines who first talked about this, I would say, infamous intersection, and Logan City with some plans to try and work this out somehow. And there's a long history behind this, including not really disputes with landowners, but landowners who weren't ready to sell or wanted a bit. We're asking, ludicrous amounts for the land, and that's where things began like 10, 15 years ago. It's all actually coming together now. UDOT, of course, has to sign off on all of this. It's not Logan City's decision or Nibley City's decision, but I'm excited to see it actually coming together. It involves the intersection, the junction, basically, of 3200 South in Nibley, where it connects with US 91, the highway. And this has been this has been a dangerous intersection for a long time. There's a lot of traffic coming out that road every time a shift gets off from the JBS meat plant in Hyrum. There's a school along there that attracts a lot of traffic when school is out during the school year. And around 3 o'clock every day, 3 to 4 o'clock, both those things happen at the same time. Really pleasant time to be in that area, especially with the whole thing being under construction right now as well. So I avoid it in general right now. But
yeah, I'll never. If I need to turn left, I'll opt for another street where there's a light.
I'm still shocked, honestly. I'm going to throw this out. I do my best to try and not be a judgmental person, but there is one area where I cut myself some slack, and that is any of you trying to turn left onto the highway in the afternoon. I judge you. What are you thinking? There are a million alternatives to get where you're going. A million. Maybe it'll cause you to have to travel a few extra blocks or even an extra mile, but eventually somehow you could get yourself to a light. I guarantee it will be faster than your wait to turn left across the highway at 4 in the afternoon, and I guarantee it will be a lot safer for everyone involved. It's just a pet peeve of mine. But yeah, the highway in general, certain times of day, there's just there are too many entrances. I would bet soon we're going to be dealing with that. At a certain point, I think UDOT is going to have to say, all right, you cannot have this many ways to get on the highway. Too much traffic, too much. Idaho had to deal with this a lot because they have some highways that are also 60, 65 miles per hour, routes that people use to basically get through the state. And yet, you'd have these pickup trucks coming off of farm roads, coming up to stop signs, and entering the highway. And so they had to eliminate as many of those as they could. We're going to be talking about that one day. This project, though, I'm excited about it because this is actually just a bit of rerouting on 3200 South that will eventually lead to a 4-way stoplight. And that's going to make things a lot safer there. If you've ever been traveling the highway at any of these times of day that I'm talking about, there's that you're coming along there. The speed limit's 60, I think, maybe it's 60. I think it drops down from 65 in the canyon to 60 as you enter the valley.
Yeah.
And so the speed limit's 60. Everybody's going 60.
Everybody's going 65.
Yeah, everyone's going 65 anyway. And you're passing this intersection. There's an old service station there with 1 million cars on it, which makes it impossible to actually see the cars coming up, hoping to turn right, or again, judging these people left across the highway. There's traffic coming out of Logan looking to turn left to go into Nibley and Hyrum, and it can just be really ugly sometimes. And I've seen some absolutely boneheaded maneuvers take place. I've seen some near misses. I've seen a few accidents. I have not, thankfully, witnessed any. There have been deaths. I haven't witnessed anything like that, but I've seen some fender benders, and mostly what I've seen are near misses that were the result of someone just being boneheaded. It's a bad intersection. But also this coincides with what Nibley's doing with the rest of 3200 South. This is going to present some interesting challenges. This kind of the realigning of 1200 West that comes out of Hyrum into Nibley and connects at a T intersection with 3200 South, that's going to be rerouted as well, and it's going to reroute to a roundabout. And so the end of 1200 West will jog just a little bit west and meet with a roundabout instead of the current stop sign with a T intersection there. That's going to make traffic flow a lot more smoothly. And then this rerouting at the furthest west end of 3200 South to a 4-way stoplight, as opposed to the stop sign on a side of a highway that it is right now, that's going to make things a lot better. But there's a lot of freight traffic along this route, or there was. There hasn't been this summer due to the construction. But generally, this is a way that most of the cattle haulers coming into the JBS plant, they would often leave through this route down 1200 West out of Hyrum into Nibley, turn left on 3200 South and go out to the highway. That won't be possible anymore. In fact, most of the 18-wheeler freight traffic involving both the dairy and the meat plant there in Hyrum, they're going to have to find another option. And Hyrum has basically the route out of Hyrum into Wellsville is basically a residential area at this point due to all the new construction of subdivisions and more. And so, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this changes things. But a new truck route is probably something you're going to hear about soon, if I had to guess. But I'm excited about this. This is a long time overdue. It goes nicely with the changes over the last few years to that intersection on 10th West, which was also, I'm actually amazed that there wasn't an even darker history to that intersection than there already was.
Yeah, I always hated that.
That was just a crazy part of town. And, so I think these are long overdue. The map, though, is cool.
Because looking at the map, it looks like 3200 South will be a real intersection.
Yeah.
It'll continue on to the west to 2000 West.
And it actually looks like it's going to make that jog to the north to meet the highway at a different point than where 3200 South currently does, a lot further back from the highway than I had anticipated. People familiar with the area right now, there's a service station right on the highway at the junction of 3200 South and the highway, and then there's a little road with some houses on it right behind that, which is a popular. Everyone thinks it's a shortcut. I laugh because I've tried both. Doesn't save you any time. But everyone shoots down that road in front of those houses trying to beat
crank your
some
neck
slow
all the
car
way back.
in front of them.
Just give yourself neck pain trying to.
It's like a second dangerous intersection after a dangerous intersection. It's crazy. The reroute is actually going to be. It looks like a good half a mile back, if not more, from the current junction of 3200 South and the highway. Check it out. The map is online. And it's also included in the full story by Charlie Schill of CashValleyDaily.com. In that story, he also links to UDOT's website. This is a tentative project, so it's an outline, it's an idea, and they're planning online public hearings about this. Thursday, by the way, 3 p.m. and 7 p.m., 2 different online sessions for public feedback. You do need to register online to be a part of the feedback sessions this Thursday, 3 p.m. and 7 p.m. when they start roughly. And that website that UDOT has set up for this feedback on this intersection is 3200 South intersection, 3200S intersection. It's in the story, and I've linked to the story on our Facebook page. But again, this is a joint effort. This involves Logan City, Nibley City, Cache County. UDOT has to sign off on all this. And the primary goal here is to improve safety and then also hopefully improve traffic flow onto US 91, as it currently is a bit of a bottleneck there at least a couple of times a day all along 3200 South. And so if this goes ahead, by the way, the plan is the existing intersection will be closed and throughout this construction. And then in the end, it will be closed permanently and be turned into a turnaround. There'll be like a little cul-de-sac there where it's currently an intersection with the highway at Ted Service Station. So that would instead be a dead end, a cul-de-sac. And then the reroute, again, to me, this is a rough estimate, but it looks like almost half a mile back. So check it out. The full story at CashValleyDaily.com, including the map, the link to the UDOT website for public feedback, happening this Thursday in 2 different sessions at 3 and 7, 3200S for South, 3200S intersection. Coming up in hour 2, Congressman Blake Moore was accidentally prescient back in January, and we've got the audio as it pertains to today and the reason he had to cancel these town halls. We've also got to look at what the upcoming school year is going to be like for USU students and the rest of Cache Valley as they make their way back into town, and also a bill in 4 different states that would make harassing an umpire a felony. Why? We'll talk about it all in hour 2, right after this, here on KVNU Logan.
Bring back what you've been missing. Bring back Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology.
Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology is Cache Valley's most trusted name in hearing aid technology. Schedule a free consultation with Dr. Paul Daines by calling 753-HEAR or visit CacheHearing.com.
Bring back what you've been missing. Bring back Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology.
I'm Larry Gelwicks, the getaway guru for Columbus Travel and Princess Cruises. Cruising is back with the best prices and promotions ever. Sail with Princess and get free drinks, free Wi-Fi, free prepaid gratuities, and non-stop fun aboard the Love Boat. Sailing right now to Alaska, Mexico, and the Caribbean. For the best travel deals on the planet, call Columbus Travel, 800-373-3328, or online at columbusvacations.com. Thanks, Columbus.
This is Jay from Daryl's Appliance. We love the family place and we want to give back to the community. Through August 28th, we will donate a portion of our sales to the family place of Cache Valley. One of the ways you can help us is to come look at the new Harvest Right freeze dryers we have in stock. These food dryers will save you money by reducing food waste. That's at Daryl's, where service always comes first. Daryl's West on Airport Road.
See Daryl's Appliance in beautiful downtown Benson.
Hey, it's Al Lewis. It's finally summertime, but if you struggle with CPAP, you might not be getting the sleep you need to get outside and enjoy your favorite summer activities. Fortunately, there's a treatment that will give you the sleep you dream of called Inspire. It works inside your body with just the click of a remote. Learn more at InspireSleep.com. Inspire Sleep Apnea Innovation. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you. And review important safety information at InspireSleep.com.
KVNU, Logan.